Hey everybody, so I'm back to give you a quick update on Romeo Nance. Romeo Nance was the mass shooter. He killed 8 people in Joliet, Illinois. All primarily all was his family members, and he fled to Texas where he committed suicide. So I want to bring you a quick update. Primarily, two quick things. One is that he allegedly had a criminal past. And the other thing was a quick update on his girlfriend because she had been charged basically with obstruction because she kind of misled the police, which prevented them from finding him earlier. Maybe if they found him earlier, maybe he would not have been able to flee to Texas. And unfortunate outcome of him committing suicide wouldn't have happened. We don't know. But they did charge her. I believe she has a child with man. So let's go over it all. So our first article, which we have two articles, one on each subject, is coming from the Chicago.suntimes.com. It is dated February 2nd, 2024. The authors are Mohammed Samra and Tom Shuba, and Andy Grimm. I apologize if I mispronounced your names. The title is Newly Released Records Show Violent History of Man Accused of Killing 8 in Joliet, including Fight with Police a Year Ago. As Romeo Nance was cuffed around the wrists and ankles, a woman, apparently his mother, screamed at officers to stop. A year later, she would be one of Nance's victims in last month's mass shooting, according to police. And this is the picture that they have him in handcuffs. Newly released video and police records show the violent history of the man accused of killing 8 people in Joliet last month, including footage of him from a year ago fighting with officers until he subdued by being cuffed around the wrist and ankles. As officers struggled with Romeo Nance, a woman who apparently was his mother screamed at officers to stop. She would be one of Nance's victims in last month's mass shooting, according to police. The 23-year-old Nance killed 6 other family members, his 3 sisters, brother, aunt, and uncle, in 2 houses on Acres Road before killing a random victim nearby on January 21st, police say. He took his own life the next day in Texas as he was fleeing from authorities. The police records were released this week under a public records request days before funerals for the relatives, all scheduled for Saturday. They have a picture of his family members. This is like extremely sad. See that? 3 sisters, a brother, his aunt, his uncle, and his mother. Plus someone he just saw randomly out. It's like extremely sad. That's just like unaliving like your entire family. Funerals held for 7 relatives killed in Joliet shooting. I don't have words for our heartache. They show Nance was charged with robbing 2 people at knife point in October of 2019 and with shooting at a woman during an apparent road rage attack in January of last year. So that would have been January of 2023. They also show authorities were called to the homes on Acres Road at least 14 times since April of 2022. That's not normal. That's not normal. 14 times? In the armed robbery, Nance was accused of pressing a knife against the chest of one of the people outside a tobacco store. One victim told police they knew Nance and he was arrested with the knife, according to the records. Court records show he pleaded guilty to a felony cannabis charge in the case, while the other counts of robbery and theft were dropped. Why are they dropping charges on somebody that's violent? He was granted time served for a 29-day jail sentence and also received 2 years of probation. That's really unfortunate. In the road rage shooting, a woman told police she was stopped at a red light on US 30 at Larkin Avenue when Nance began honking from the car behind her, according to the records. He then pulled alongside her and started yelling before throwing a water bottle at her car. The records state the woman called 911 and followed him to a Walgreens parking lot. As the woman followed him, Nance fired shots until he lost her. Wow, that's awful. 14 shell casings were recovered from several crime scenes connected to the incident, and a bullet hole was found in the driver's door of the woman's car. Another bullet smashed through a nearby home, striking the countertop and lodging in the kitchen wall, according to the records, which said a resident in the home never looked outside because she was so scared. This is a dangerous individual. Volatile, violent. Police used cell phone records and cameras to track down Nance. Police body cam video shows officers approached him as he sat in a black Ford sedan in the driveway of one of the homes on Acres Road. Nance is seen calmly stepping out of the car and is handcuffed by officers as a woman shouts at officers. Nance then runs toward the street as the officers begin searching his car. Police tackle Nance in the snow as another woman, apparently his mother, steps out of the house and tries to order the police off her property, demanding to see a warrant. This is how you just can't stand for wrong. You can't support it. Don't search anything on my property unless you have a warrant, the woman is heard telling officers. Nance, pinned to the ground by police, pleads with officers to put him in a squad car. My legs are tired, he says. Get me off the floor, please. Minutes later, police pull a backpack from the back seat of Nance's car, the video shows. Inside was a loaded semi-automatic pistol and 2 cartons of ammunition. That's how he was able to shoot 14 shots. As he was being taken to the police station, Nance talks nearly nonstop during the 15-minute trip, according to the video. He takes a keen interest in the police computer that pinged the license plates of passing cars and provided the criminal history of the registered owners. When the computer flashes an alert about the arrest records of the owner of a passing car, Nance is stunned. No wonder y'all know how to get up on a mother effer real quick, he says. During his interview with police, Nance repeatedly refused to answer questions. The interview was ended when he became increasingly agitated, according to a police report. He was charged with felony counts of aggravated discharge of a weapon, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, reckless discharge, and aggravated assault. The case was still pending, court records show. His bail was set at $100,000 and he was released a few weeks later after his girlfriend posted the required 10%. She is now charged with obstruction of justice for allegedly lying to police as they tried to find him after the mass shooting. 7 of his family members were killed. Nance's mother, Tamika Nance, 47, his sisters, Alexandria Nance, 20, Alana Nance, 16, and Angel Nance, 14. His brother, Joshua Nance, 31. His aunt, Christine Esters, 38. And his uncle, William Esters II, 35. An 8th victim, Toyosi Bakari, 28, was found shot in the head at Pheasant Run Apartments in unincorporated Joliet. A 9th man was wounded. I believe the man that was at the apartment, he was just going to his car. I think he was making a run to the store. And the other man that was one, I think he was taking groceries in the house from his driveway where his car was parked. So that's the update. It's just detailing a violent history. We know history is going to keep showing us there are signs. There are signs of behavior before it ever gets to this point. Poor communication, impatience, violent, quick to anger, quick to solve problems with anger, violence, poor relationships with women. Maybe his mom, maybe his child's mother, maybe he had some difficulties. No conflict resolution, right? Look how he's handling things out of anger, violence, quick acting, not thinking. Very unfortunate. And the women are upholding him. Oh, you need a search warrant. Your son has just shot 14 times at a woman because she was obeying the traffic laws and waiting for the light to turn green. And you get this burst of anger. It's really unfortunate. And then the girlfriend protecting him. Why? He's just unalived his entire family. And you're lying. Anyway, moving on. We're going to abc7chicago.com. This is an article dated February the 8th, 2024. It's by the ABC7 Chicago digital team and is titled Girlfriend of Suspect in Daily Will County Shootings Pleads Not Guilty to Obstruction. The girlfriend of a Joliet area murder suspect pleaded not guilty to obstruction of justice in Will County Court Thursday. Joliet police said 21-year-old Kyleigh Cleveland-Singleton made statements in an attempt to stop police from arresting her boyfriend, Romeo Nance, after he allegedly shot 9 people, 8 fatally in Will County. Cleveland-Singleton is the mother of Nance's 3-year-old child. Police said they first made contact with Cleveland-Singleton when they were looking for their son in the aftermath of the shootings. During the investigation, detectives were told the child may be with his mother and grandmother at a home in Plainfield. Police went to that home where they found the child as well as Cleveland-Singleton. While she voluntarily went with police for questioning about the shooting spree, detectives believe she made statements to prevent them from apprehending Nance and to obstruct the investigation. Police said Cleveland-Singleton lied to them by saying she didn't have Nance's phone number. She was ordered to remain on electronic monitoring as she stays with her mother. She faces 1 to 6 years in prison if convicted and is next due in court March the 7th. Nance allegedly went on a deadly shooting spree in the Joliet area last month. He took his own life during a confrontation with Texas police the next day, authorities said. Joliet police said two of the shootings appeared to be more random in nature than the other two shootings in which Nance targeted multiple relatives. Nance is believed to have a criminal history, though police did not offer any further details. Police said that in cases like this, they may never know the motive behind the crimes. Joliet police asked anyone with information about the crimes to contact them. So what do you think? What do you think a motive would be? Why would somebody unalive all of their family members? Their mother, their aunt, the uncle, the brother, and the sisters. Why would somebody do something like that? We've seen this before, right? We've seen this very similar. And what was it in that case? We believed it was some mental health issues. That's what the surviving mother and sister said. That was the case of, it's on the tip of my tongue. I tell you, I can see his face. Because this was in New York. That was the case of, you can see his face. Courtney Gordon, right? That was the case of Courtney Gordon in Queens, New York, right? Where he went in, he set the house on fire, he unalived everybody. He walked away, he ran into police. He immediately started to stab them with a kitchen knife. They said it was mental health, that he had mental health issues. He was older, though. I think he was about 37. Romeo Nance is 23. He's very, very young. Do you think it could possibly be drug related? Possibly. How could somebody be so young, be that angry, right? What happened? What happened to him? Why would you want to harm all your family members? Why would you do something like that? And then the weight of it all, the stress of it all, you unalive yourself. Just a very unfortunate situation, a sad act. Now, his child will not have a father, will not have a grandmother, will not have virtually that side of that family. They're all gone. And nobody thinks ahead at the outcome. What will this cost? What will be the lasting impact? Nobody thinks about that. A lot of times when you're having difficulty, it will pass. Go to sleep. Wake up the next day with a new mindset, a new beginning, a new day. Where you're doing an action that could have years of consequences. You're not thinking about that. You're not thinking ahead at all of the trickle down effects, how it hurts so many people and impacts so many people's lives. And not just your life. You have a small child that now has to grow up with this as the story of what happened to you. You unalive yourself. You unalive the grandparent, the grandmother, aunts, uncles, all of your child's aunties, the uncle are gone. They have no chance to help your child grow, to help them turn into a good human being, to know your side of the family. This tragedy will be recounted for the next 50 years of their life. That's trauma. That's being born into trauma. You know, it's like you almost don't give your child a chance when they have to come into life in this way. Just It's just very sad all around to see um, this picture and to know that you have 7 family members that's having a funeral in one day. All these people, look how young they are. Look at that. With goals, hopes, dreams. You don't just hurt yourself, you hurt all these people. You take all these people with you. People that love them, people that knew them. They have kids, they have goals, dreams. You take their existence away. And for what? We have to find some kind of way to deal with not just mental health, but the level of violence that's happening every day. We're hearing about 1 or 2 mass shootings practically every day. You don't know if it could happen in your city, your town. You don't know when it's going to happen, or just the level of violence that's happening. It's almost as if you have to be on guard. You have to think of safety. You have to protect yourself. You have to always be wise. You can't just exist in this free world. It creates a community that's full of fear, tension, stress, always on guard for something that is really bad could happen to you because it's just so likely now. So, it's just extremely sad when I have to see these faces and hear this. And this person has a criminal record. He has a criminal record. Why even get him out? Why post a bond for somebody like this that's committing these acts of violence? Do you really want this person back on the street? What are they willing to do now? They do something wrong, they get right back out. And now it's just going from robbery to more. It's just developing more. You got away with the robbery. You got a slap on the hand. You got a marijuana charge, but not the robbery charge. And then you go and you just unload this gun on someone because they didn't run a light. And you went on the side of them. You just, that's not enough. You take the next step and you act out in anger. And you're doing something that's bothering me and I don't like it. And I'm going to do something about it. And then the next step, we don't know what set Mr. Nance off. We don't know. Because how could all of these people be wrong? What about the minors? The 16-year-old sister, your 14-year-old sister. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's you, but everybody fears you. So you just keep going on and on and on with this mentality, that you can't be wrong, you can do anything because you got a GUE. And you're going to use that to intimidate people, to put fear in people, to rob people, to harm people, to traumatize them. And what happens when you get arrested? Somebody comes and bails you out and you're free again. But what are you free to do? You take your freedom and you go and you unalive almost your entire family. We have to make better decisions. We have to look at patterns. We have to do something about it earlier on. Because if not, we're going to continue to see cases like this, like a Courtney Gordon, where he too went to a family home and unalived everybody there. Mr. Nance goes into his community on that Acres Road. He has family living directly across from each other on the same street, and he goes from one house to the other and kills them all. Mr. Gordon, after he unalived everybody there at his father's sister house where he was residing, he then sets the house on fire to try to cover up the murders. And there's no telling how much damage he would have done if it were not for those police officers. A lot of people say get rid of the police, dismantle the police, but without who's going to stand up to these criminals? Who's going to stop them, and with what authority? They're paid nothing, pennies, to fight crime, to investigate crime. And we can't be thankful, we can't be grateful, we can't acknowledge them when they're doing good because they put their life on the line. They were injured. They're probably still recovering. Who else is going to do that for free? $20 an hour is nothing. You're in a stressful environment every day, one circumstance after another, working long shifts. Some of them, to even make a decent salary, they're doubling up shifts, making $30,000, $40,000 a year, and they're putting their life on line every day. And to even make a livable wage, they got to work doubles. They got to work 6-7 days a week, be away from their family in a stressful environment. Now, we have to change what is important. We have to pour into these teachers, administrators, police officers, law enforcement, first responders, paramedics, doctors, all these people that are providing emergency care, emergency services, developing minds, pouring into our young people. We have to care enough to invest in them also. We have to care because we're going to keep seeing these violent acts because we show we don't care. We show we're not going to stand up. We're not going to back them. We're not going to support them. We're not going to say when a person is wrong. We're just going to overlook it. When we keep overlooking these people, these criminals, this is the type of stuff that happens. When their violence, when their rage unfolds, a lot of times they'll go and do a mass shooting somewhere else. But as of late, they've been taking it and lashing out on their own family members. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. If I do see the article on Mr. Nance's girlfriend and what happens with her obstruction of justice charge, I will come back with an update. I'm not sure if they'll keep following the case, but I will try to find that. It's coming up March 7th when she goes back to court. So we will see what happens. I just wanted to bring you that update so you can also see that a lot of times before this big thing happens, there's a lot of little things that happen that lead up to a person's behavior. It's not really a surprise. It's usually a pattern of repeat behavior, and they're just escalating until something very tragic like this happens, where in this case, Mr. Nance unalived his mother, his sisters, his brother, his aunts, everybody he could. Everybody he come in contact with, and then he eventually unalived himself in Texas. So just prayers and blessings to the Nance family. Just a very terrible thing that happened, very sad. Prayers for Mr. Nance's young 3-year-old child that has to grow and develop without his side of the family and without him. Um, put violence out of your mind. Put all the weapons down and learn to have patience and love for other people. You know, take a day, sleep on it, see if you can wake up with a new mindset. Learn patience. We have to be patient to each other, learning patience, giving grace. Okay. That's all I got. That's hidden horror for you. Okay. Thanks for checking out this video. Please remember to stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy. Be well, all my friends. Hopefully, I will see you in a video soon. If they post the information on his girlfriend going back to court, I will come back with the video and give you an update. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for always spending this time with me. Thank you for subscribing, for sharing these videos. I hope you enjoy them, and I want you to take care. Okay, take care, and I will see you in a video soon. Bye, everybody. Good night.